Holy fucking shit, you guys! You wanna know why? I'm going to maybe we can have the conversation. Maybe we can talk about it.
I don't hate myself. If you don't mind?
No, I'll hold it.
Okay. I don't hate myself. But I think it's awfully convenient that you use other people's, shame and guilt and self-hatred and the demons and evil spirits.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's the reason why people commit suicide. That takes responsibility for your words and your actions cause someone else to hurt themselves. How convenient and how blessed you are to not take any responsibility with your actions.
I don't fully understand what you're saying.
Hello everyone, I have a video from Charlie where he faces a confrontation from a particular student. The way it plays out and concludes is surprising. I'll give you my thoughts along the way. Let's watch it together.
All right, Charlie, I have a question for you. So, as a Christian, how do you justify campaigning for someone who was found civilly liable for sexual abuse?
Well, first of all, we as conservatives believe that that was like a Moscow show trial. It made no sense. How much about the trial do you know?
I've read some of the witness transcripts.
Yeah. So the main accuser is a woman by the name of
Jean Carroll.
Yeah, exactly. And she said the following: "A rape is sexy." She said that on air, right? She couldn't remember the time, the date, or the year that the incident happened. And even Anderson Cooper said this is not a credible witness that should be taken seriously. But let's pretend you're right, because I don't want to get too far into the details. But let's pretend that President Trump was guilty of sexual abuse. Is there any example of somebody in the Bible that was guilty of doing something bad that still was after God's own heart? This is the Bible Belt, but yes, the question is for you.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, well, David would be the most obvious. So how much do you know about the example of David and Bathsheba? Probably not a lot, right? So David one day woke up and he was in charge of the Israeli army. I believe it was Uriah, if I'm drawing from memory correctly, right? And Uriah was like the head infantry commander. Uriah had a wife, very beautiful by the name of Bathsheba. Bathsheba woke up one day and was very provocatively showering for all to see. And David lustfully said, "I want that." In fact, not only did he say, did he want that, he then commissioned Uriah to the front lines of a battle to then basically get Uriah killed. Basically saying, I'm going to kill your husband so that I could be with Bathsheba. He does that, he dies, he then weeps terribly, and God even draws him closer to him in this very, very difficult, mysterious story. A second example, of course, would be Samson. Samson is found in the book of Hebrews in the Hall of Faith. Samson lived such a colorful life that God came to him when he was in a prostitute's bed. But God called Samson for a purpose greater than his and used the jaw of a donkey to go kill, thousands of Philistines. What I'm getting at is we are all sinners that fall short of the glory of God, and God can use imperfect vessels for righteous and good causes, of which I think he used Donald Trump to help save the country.
That's the problem with a lot of kids nowadays. They tend to form their opinions based on far-left media and liberal ideology without fully considering a wide range of perspectives, or even critically analyzing the information they are exposed to. It's alarming how many young people today are heavily influenced by media outlets. It's very shocking, ladies and gentlemen. Social media platforms and ideologies that often promote a one-sided narrative. How sad is that? Rather than encouraging independent thought, these sources frequently present a narrow, filtered version of reality. And ultimately, many kids are observing these messages without questioning their accuracy or even motives.
Okay. So you said that, so you think the court case was a witch hunt?
Yes, I think that case was absolutely a witch hunt. And
so were the jurors, specifically the ones who found him liable, were they part of that?
So it's very important that this was a civil case, not a
Right.
criminal case. This never reached the threshold where any criminal prosecutor wanted to bring this because they thought the evidence was so shoddy. But yes, the jurors got this wrong because they were all suffering from Trump derangement syndrome.
Really?
This was a New York City-based jury, and of
Who
course
picked the jury?
They were New York City-based.
Well, yeah, but who picked the jury?
Well,
Trump's lawyer.
Well, no, that's not true. They have input on
No,
the jury
that's how-
selection.
yeah,
But they get 3 strikes. Those strikes were used. The judge was hardly fair. Again, I'm happy to go into all the individual minutes, but let's use reason. Can I be a little provocative on this for a second, guys? Okay. And I'm gonna try to prove you wrong using a little provocation, and I'm gonna be politically incorrect. Is that okay? All right. Trigger warning. Okay. So let me understand this. Here is the world's wealthiest man. One of the world's wealthiest men, worth like $10 billion. He's got a show on the NBC Apprentice. He's literally married to a supermodel. He can have any woman on the world. And I'm supposed to believe at 2 p.m. in a Tiffany's store, he walks in and E. Jean Carroll, who is not exactly a supermodel, and risks his entire fortune, of which there is no accusation for 20 years, but he pops up and runs for the president, and all of a sudden she says, this guy me, even though I can't remember the day, the month, the year, 2 p.m. in a department store at Tiffany's while he was at the height of his career. I'm sorry, that's complete rubbish and political nonsense.
Well, so there was a law in New York up until 2022, sorry, before 2022, or during 2022, there was a law passed called the Abuser, I can't remember the name, Protection Act or something like that. And it removed the statute of limitation, which was 1 year for civil cases for abuse. So that's how she had to wait so long until 2022.
But she did not voice the accusation publicly till he ran for president, which she did in 2017, 2018. Second, the trial itself was financed by Democrat donors. Thirdly, this is such a superfluous conversation. He's president of the United States. He won. We won. The American people saw this and did not care. So maybe we could talk about issues that are happening right now, not some fake accusation from 30 years ago.
Imagine an America without religion, a country where the guiding principles of faith, which have shaped much of its moral and ethical framework, no longer hold sway. Just imagine. In such a society, every individual operates based on their own personal moral code, and the very foundation that has long helped to define right from wrong is fragmented into countless subjective viewpoints. Ladies and gentlemen, when we throw away God, everything turns into chaos. When we try to replace God with science or with whatever, everything turns into chaos.
Hi, Charlie. How are you? Good? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory on myself. I'm Jaiden Clark. I'm a student here. Freshman year, I was hate crime 5 times in one night, okay? 3 of them by Trump supporters.
What happened to you?
Okay, for one of them, I was just walking, and then I see this truck full of 4 white men pass by me, MAGA apparel, everything, you know. And then...
Did they say this is MAGA country?
Anyways, they drove past me, and they were like, "F you, nigger, bend over, quick."
Okay, so they said the N-word on campus to you.
Well, yes.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so what happened to them when you reported them?
I didn't report them.
Oh, really? Okay, so maybe it didn't happen.
Okay, anyways.
I don't believe you. I'm being honest, I don't believe you. I think
Okay.
you're making it up.
Okay. Anyways.
I refuse to believe that somebody on this campus would go around and sheepishly call you the N-word. I refuse to believe that. I think you're lying.
Anyways, next instance, they threatened to rape me and then just drove off.
Hold on, so a bunch of Trump guys who are largely white heterosexual males then also threatened to rape you?
Different group of people, but yes.
All in one night?
All in one night, sir.
I think you're making this up.
Okay, that's fine.
But what evidence do you have for this? Do you have corroborating witnesses? Do you have cameras? Do you have license plate numbers? Because now we're talking about crimes. Threatening to rape you is an intent of a crime. Did you go to the police? You file a police report? You hire an attorney? You sue the school? Did you go to the Civil rights office? Do you file a civil rights complaint? Do you do any of that? Because you should.
Okay.
No, did you? Tell me. Yes or no?
I did not. But
Why?
I'm not going to argue with you.
No, but you're coming in front of 2,000 people to say it. Why did you not go to the university and say this happened?
Okay, because how would I report them?
Anyone. There's hotlines all over this campus. You guys have nothing but, like, if something happens to you, I think you're making this up. I think you're doing this to try to make a point.
Okay. Well,
I don't think there's any evidence.
I can promise you, God as my witness, I am not. Anyways.
No, but seriously, why don't you today commit? Let's do this. I'm going to show you the university official, and why don't you go file a Department of Education complaint, and let's find these terrible people that did this to you. Can we agree?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll think about
and by
that.
the way, we'll be able to look at security camera footage, and we'll see.
Okay, I'll think about that.
But you didn't do that.
Can I try
though.
to finish?
You'll think about it. Hold on. Why wouldn't you want to do that immediately?
Can I talk?
No, but you're making a serious accusation. Please, I'm just.
In a society without religion, everything would become acceptable to those who choose to live by their own standards, without the checks and balances provided by religious teachings that emphasize love, respect, compassion, and accountability. The understanding of right and wrong would no longer be anchored in universal principles. Just think about it. Or of the belief of a higher power or a moral lawgiver. Just think about it. Instead, it would be entirely subjective, with each individual deciding what actions are justified or ethical based on their own personal feelings or desires. Can you imagine that? I know to some people, they may view this as a freedom of expression, but it would lead to moral chaos. It would lead to moral chaos, as different people could easily justify harmful behavior simply because it aligns with their own self-interest or perceived worldview. Those are the dangers.
And I'm not going to argue with you about my personal experiences. Anyways.
It didn't happen, man.
Okay, that's cool. Anyways, I feel like every time I step foot on this campus, I have a wall of vitriol and hate at my back. And to the audience, I say to you, these are your fathers, these are your siblings, and these are your neighbors. So y'all need to clock them. And I hate overgeneralizing, but I'm not going to say all Trump supporters are racist, but a good amount. Anyways, my question to you is, if you had one message to say to these people with the hate in their hearts, what would you tell them?
I would tell you to stop lying.
What would you tell them? Not to me.
No, honestly, I think you're Jussie Smollett at this campus. I think you're completely making this whole thing up. I think you are a complete liar, because I am now giving you an opportunity to report this at the high. I will bring this to Linda McMahon, the head of the Department of Education, the federal government. I will make sure these people are arrested by Kash Patel, the head of the FBI. And you'll say, oh, I'll think about it. Because you're making this up. You're doing this for a political purpose. So will you, no, seriously, Kash Patel will get involved. Yes? It's a hate crime. That's not acceptable. Well, hold on. No, will you do this or not?
That's really cute, Charlie, but I'm trying to give you the opportunity to alleviate hate within this group of people who have a shared ideology.
But hold on a second. There's no hate. There's just love of America here in this audience. That's all that's here today, okay? That's all that's here. But back to you. I heard your accusation. I'm now going to go to the University of Tennessee and tweet this and say, hey, this is a serious accusation. I want the governor to get involved, by the way. Okay. The governor's getting involved. I'm going to call Marsha Blackburn. I'm now going to call Big Haggerty. I know all these people, and we're going to find out really quickly if you're telling the truth or not, because you just came in front of 2,000 people, and we're going to go bring in the police. We'll bring in the FBI, because what you just said is unacceptable. You said Trump supporters called you the N-word. That is no place in America, and they threatened to rape you. That is no place in America. But you know what else is no place in America? Lying and saying it happened to you. So we'll find out really quick if you're telling the truth or not.
That's cool, but like, can you answer my question though? If you...
My message to everyone in the audience, keep loving America.
Okay.
But
what about loving your neighbor?
Just so you know, this is going to become a very big issue. We're going to put this on social media, because nowhere in America should you be allowed to go in front of a microphone with no evidence, no willingness to report, no likelihood to talk to police and say, oh, this happened to be at night, and ruin the reputation of half the country and say that they wanted to go me and call me the N-word. That is gross.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. You'll be hearing from a lot of institutions. And if you did indeed lie, you will be civilly liable for smearing this university publicly for a very big number. We'll find out if you're telling the truth. Thank you.
Thank you.
America was truly better when we acknowledged and thanked our Creator, because religion not only provides spiritual guidance, but it also fosters the kind of moral values that create a thriving society. Yes, by embracing faith, we honor God, we honor our Creator, uplift others, and live with purpose. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to return to those core values and allow them to guide us in a world that increasingly needs moral clarity, compassion, and unity. Let us live out the teachings of Jesus, acknowledging God with gratitude and love. Let us do that, fostering a society that reflects these timeless principles. To conclude, sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ is profoundly positive endeavor that changes lives, ladies and gentlemen. It promotes love, justice, hope, truth, and aligns with God's will. It provides eternal meaning and deep joy to those who receive it. Ultimately, it stands as the greatest gift to humanity, creating lasting impact in the lives of individuals and entire communities, and reflecting God's heart in everything it touches. So, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click on the next one, and don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.